The Hunchback of Notre Dame is an American film that was released in 1923. It's, of course, based on Victor Hugo's 1831 novel. Now, this is Universal's Super Jewel film. It is the most successful silent film. Now, of course, Ben-Hur's considered the most expensive silent film. So not to get confused. Yeah, this is the most successful. Now, of course, Ben-Hur was successful, but this one was considered Universal's most successful. Ben-Hur was, I think, under Paramount, if I remember correctly. So, but anyway, yeah, Ben-Hur was successful, but it was the most successful, I mean, the most expensive silent film. And now, Lon Chaney stars in this movie as Quasimodo, and he really, really wanted to be in this film. He acquired the rights to produce the film back in 1921, so 2 years before the movie was released, and he was actually wanting to do the film abroad. And so he was working with a German studio actually, and then all of a sudden it came back to America. So yeah, there was like negotiations and everything. And I'll put everything in the description box for you because it was a long negotiation thing and everything. There was like talking to the German studio, then somebody else came in who had previously worked with Lon Chaney saying, hey, we need to do this and let's bring it back over here. And but anyway, so it did end up back in America. And they convinced Lon Chaney to bring it back to America and make it an American film. So, but the sets, when I was watching this film, because I mean, I thought that they had filmed on location. No, these sets, oh my gosh, they made such an effort to make it look like of the era of when this story took place around Notre Dame. So the set, that is a set of Notre Dame. It is not actually Notre Dame. And yeah, it's not the real Notre Dame, much like which would be 2 years later in 1925. It must be a Lon Chaney thing because when he did Phantom of the Opera, of course, they did this big set for the opera house. It's not the actual opera house. Oh my goodness. Yes. Let's stop with the CGI and actually do, if they can do this in silent film era where they make a replica of Notre Dame. Yeah, there's no excuse. Let's get rid of the CGI. Off my soapbox now. I don't like CGI. I really don't. But anyway, there were so many costumes that went into this. There were like 3,000 costumes just for the extras. It took 6 weeks for completion. And like I said, the sets were reconstructed to look like Notre Dame, as well as the street scene and everything. Now we know, I'm pretty sure by this point we know the story of Hunchback of Notre Dame. Now this one stays true to the actual book, not like the Disney everything. So if you're used to the Disney the Disney movie, this is nothing like it. And a lot of the the names are there, but yeah, Quasimodo's a jerk. And anyway, so but yeah, we all know the story and everything. Now, Lon Chaney, Man of a Thousand Faces, with this particular role that he took on, he actually held interviews and he talked to people who suffered from physical deformities to understand how to be Quasimodo. And there were many people who, if this was their first time ever seeing Lon Chaney in a movie, they really thought that he was deformed. And so he played the part very well. And but which that so I guess he's kind of a method actor. He was in a way, I guess. I don't know. I'm not really sure exactly what, because there's like part method acting and then there's like going all the way with it, and it's just don't let it take over your lives, people. It's acting. And now he didn't do his own stunts. A gentleman by the name of Joe Bonamo did Lon Chaney's stunts. And so which I was watching this movie and I was sure that Lon Chaney, because it seems like there were a couple other movies that Lon Chaney did where he did his own stunts. And this one, and then I thought, well, and then when I was watching this one, I was just sure that Lon Chaney did his own stunts. And then I thought, well, maybe it seems to me that this is the point where Lon Chaney was starting to get sick. So that would make more sense. Now, this film, when they had the original prints were either decomposed or destroyed by the studio. So so stay with me on this, okay? So original prints back in those days were what they would send off to theaters. And then those were like a cellulose nitrate film. And the things that they printed on, I mean, we think it's just ridiculous. And it seems like for those, at one point they were printing audio files on soap or something. Yeah, it's something. And yeah, recordings on some kind of, anyway. So yeah, the cellulose nitrate, and it basically decomposed and it's gone. However, the prints that we have are known as a show at home print. So the director producer had their own personal print, and it's a 16 millimeter print, and which I would think that would be the same. You can, those of you that know more about this, of course, I would think that the 16 millimeter would be the same as what would be sent to the theater, but apparently not. But now there are different film times that have been released. There's the 102 minutes. That was what was released originally. And then there's 117 minutes, which is the director's cut. And then 98 minutes, which is a completely cut edition. So I don't know why they would cut so much out of it. But So anyway, that is Hunchback of Notre Dame. It was released in 1923, starring Lon Chaney.